Chapter 1.
Get that bucket filled for me, Laura. Toll, bring more charcoal.
Olivin knew his voice was harsh, but the world was a harsh place, with no room for people who did not work. He watched out of the corner of his eye as his daughter snatched the wooden bucket from its place near the forge and left the smithy at a brisk walk for the well. He would lose her soon, he thought as he sorted through his store of metal. He'd 2 offers for her hand from neighboring farmers, but she hadn't made up her mind yet. He hoped she chose Daniil, who was soft-spoken and old enough to have proved his mettle, but she'd been showing a preference for Sovern's youngest. He would be happy to see her settled with either, though it would leave him only Toll and Nana, neither of whom was big enough to carry the bucket full of water or half a dozen other chores required to keep the smithy running.
Step up, Toll,
he said to his son, who had only half filled the forge coal bed.
The morning won't wait on your dawdling.
Yes, da, muttered the boy in a tone just this side of insolence.
You watch your...
Laura's shrill scream cut through his voice.
It doesn't look like much of a village, Papa, said Lair.
Tyr smiled at his youngest son, who had somehow crossed over from boy to man these past few months. His ash-blonde hair, a legacy of his mother's people, was mostly tucked under a hat, but anyone with an eye to see could tell that there was traveler blood in him. Lair's long strides had no trouble keeping up with Skew, though Tyr's old warhorse was walking briskly. Tyr shifted in his saddle, hoping to alleviate the steady ache in his right knee. He might believe the adage that any wound that hurt was a sign he wasn't dead yet, but that didn't mean he had to enjoy it. He took a deep breath of cool forest air to remind himself that he was free and on his way home. A little pain was a small price to pay. He squinted at the small cluster of buildings in the little green valley.
It's small, but see that first building? There's a kiln behind it. It's either a pottery or a bakery.
But Papa, said Tyr's older son Jess, who walked on Tyr's other side, Benron said we need grain, not pots or bread.
Very true, agreed Tyr. But so near to a great road, they will have trade goods too.
There are farms all around here, explained Lair. They'll bring grain here, where they'll see higher profits from it than if they had to transport it to a bigger market. Jess gave a puzzled frown. It might have been that he found Lair's explanation too complex, or something else had distracted him. It was ironic that Jess, who looked as Redurny as any village son, would be the one to pay the highest price for his mother's traveler blood. The lesser part of that price was the slow thoughts and slower speech that set him apart as a simpleton, though he wasn't quite. It doesn't look right, said Jess after a moment.
What doesn't?
Asked Tyr. Jess's conversations sometimes were as difficult to follow as a hummingbird's flight. The buildings. Jess stopped abruptly and stared ahead. Tyr stopped Skew and tried to see what might have attracted Jess's attention. There's no smoke from the smithy, said Lair. That's it, said Jess, nodding with his usual exaggerated motion. Smithies have smoke.
Maybe the smith isn't working today,
Tyr said.
We'll be there soon enough.
Urging Skew forward, he squeezed a little too enthusiastically with his legs and couldn't bite back a yelp.
Shadow take these knees, the wizards who broke them, and the traveler healer who can't fix them any faster.
That last wasn't fair, and he knew it. Rued had told him that riding Skew rather than one of the carts was making his knees take longer to heal than necessary. But it was bad enough to have to ride while most everyone else proceeded by their shoe leather. He was not going to sit in a cart.